Okay, so we've separated our header code by pulling it out of the index file and into its own file called header.php here. And then we've simply added this one line of code, get header, which reaches into the theme directory and pulls the code from header.php right back into index.php. So we've just applied this idea of theme partials. It's just this way of organizing our code, basically removing some stuff from the index file and separating it out so we can reuse header.php on any new theme files that we create in here, any template files. So let's do the same thing now for footer. And really our footer is pretty small at this point. It's just this code here. Okay, and that would, if we remove this code here and place it into its own little footer file, then that will leave us with the code that's basically responsible for our index page. It's kind of like the loop here, and we've got this kind of header welcome thing happening with the Jumbotron. So the footer code is really just this, so we're going to separate that out. And what I want to say as well is that this concept of partials isn't just unique to WordPress or to PHP websites. You'll find this in many different web development frameworks and different kinds of approaches, whether it's Ruby on Rails or Node-based websites, JavaScript-based websites. It doesn't matter. You'll often find this happening where you separate out your headers, your footers, and just other sections just so that you can reuse them later. So let's go ahead and separate out our footer. So what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to right-click on this file, this folder name here. This is our theme folder. And we'll say new file, and we'll name it footer.php. Okay, so double-click that. It's an empty file. And we're just going to grab whatever footer code we have. Right now there's barely anything in there. And then we're just going to cut that out. So these 3 lines of code right here, we're going to cut that out. And then we're going to place it right here. Just paste it in. Okay, so save that. And then save our kind of simplified, slimmed down index page here. My server is running, as we can see up here. So if I go over to my tab and refresh, you'll see it's still working because we didn't actually have any footer code down there, but now there shouldn't be any footer being injected. We have to add that in manually. So the way we do that is just like we did up here. We're going to copy that line of code, drop it in over here at the bottom. And we'll say, instead of get header, we'll say get underscore footer. So save that. And then go back and refresh. Again, you won't really notice anything because we didn't have a footer down there. But just to prove it's working, I'll do this. I'll just comment this line of code out. We'll comment it like this inside the PHP. So 2 forward slashes kind of disables this function. If I save this, and then we add some footer text down here, just say something like brand name in the footer. And save that, and I'm put that inside some paragraph tags here. This is just raw HTML. So we've added some footer code now. And then if I go over here and refresh, that's not going to show up, obviously. But if I go over here now and just add this line of code back in and save it, and then refresh, there, now our footer is actually showing up. It's being injected in there. So this one line of code looks for a file called footer.php, which we just created, and injects the code from it. So all we're doing is just kind of reorganizing our code. That's all we've done here. So let's go ahead and get rid of this line for now, since that was just for demonstration. Okay, save your files, and we'll move on from here.